What's up, everybody? Jordan Spong here, back for episode 9 of How to Improve My Mile. Also back with the not so great camera footage, so that will make me want to go quick through here. Maybe I should get a new one or investigate it, but probably a problem we should address when I get more subscribers or followers. But speaking of that, past 10. So, I mean, woohoo. Thanks for everyone that follows along. We're clearly crushing the vlog or whatever game you want to call this. Couple of quick notes at school, 100 on all my tests so far. So Ivy League, I'm top of my class. That technically means how long it stays that way, who knows, but we're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep working real hard here to make sure, we're getting some good grades, getting smarter, getting ready for the CPA. Jobs, applied for Deloitte and PwC in New York City. We will be going for EY and KPMG here in a little while. Management consulting would have been fun, but to get your CPA license here in the state of New York, and kind of where I want to work for the next couple of years after college, you have to work under a CPA, so there's no guarantee you'll get someone that has their license going into a management consulting firm. So probably a few years in the Big Four. Weather here in Ithaca is still real good, 60, 70 degrees most days. Gets a little chilly in the morning, so that's good. And then racing, who knows? I'm really in an entrepreneurship class, and they're like all about ambiguity and how great it is. And it kind of sucks right now because you're trying to plan, what you want to do here. But we're just going to keep plugging along with the miles, keep, getting fitter. And if something comes up here in the next 6 to 8 weeks, I might jump on it, but we'll see what happens. So let's get right into the screen share. We are reviewing the fall or summer and fall of 2018. So let me just pull up my screen for you guys here. Right, here we are, fall 2017. I started a little early, jumped the gun. Summer of 2017, I only took 2 weeks off after the spring of 2017 because, as you remember, I was hurt for like 2 months in December and January. So by this point, I told you I regretted not racing. I was still feeling pretty good. So I only needed a couple of weeks off. I didn't count these miles here in the total, but we got right back into it. This was the first year I worked an internship. I worked at Shamrock Foods in their human resource department, doing a bunch of auditing of their human resource documents, like SSN, making sure they're compliant with all of the quotas for, diversity, all that type of stuff. So it was a fun experience. This was the first year it was really tough where at least when you got down here into June, where it was like 110 each day and it didn't really cool down much below 90 at night, we were getting up at like 4:45 in the morning, 5 o'clock to get these 10-mile runs in so that I could be in the office by like 7:30 and then grinding, 8-9 hour days to do that. So we jump into it. I really didn't highlight anything. It was pretty easy, like because of having to get up early and you couldn't really, there was no doubling available, very seldom in Phoenix. Everything had to be done in the morning. So all of the miles, by the time we get up to 70, everything was done in the morning. And I think I did pretty well in the start here. I built up pretty slowly, 70 by the fifth week. And then it kind of hit some rails. We went, I could have highlighted this area right here. I went and saw my friend White McGuire. He was working up in Colorado, Buena Vista. I traveled with a pole vaulting friend, Mickey. And he lived at 8,000 feet up in Buena Vista. He took me out on a 2-mile jog and I was gassed after that. Woke up 4 the next morning and did La Plata, kind of a harder 14er, 10 miles in about 9 hours. Came back off the mountain and then ran 65 minutes for 10 miles that night. So it's safe to say we were both pretty wrecked. Next morning we got up and we did the 12-hour drive down from Colorado down to Phoenix. So this was a grind of like 3 days. Managed to get the long one in the middle of the week. And then I can remember on Friday, I don't even think I went to work. I just slept all day. It was burnout. Just was feeling, the altitude all of the time. We were jam packed. We camped. We didn't really sleep, as much because we were doing lots in the day. Long run there. And then, kind of the summer, great to get into the rhythm and start to feel it. And, you get really consistent of getting up, getting going. I didn't really find that because I came back to Phoenix for a week and then I went out to California to see my mom. She came over from New Zealand with my little sisters. So, we did Disneyland, Legoland, all of that type of stuff. which was pretty fun. So yeah, not really consistent there. I managed, it's not great mileage if you think about it. Even as a sophomore at this point in college, you could have been doing probably a lot more. I remember here kind of being annoyed that I had, got out of being consistent. So I tried to string together, 3, and then fourth week I traveled back to Nebraska. So that week kind of got messed up. But yeah, the summer here, it's just really hot. I was getting over, running at 4:45 in the morning. It was pretty tough. Traveled back, not really anything interesting there. Stopped in Kearney for a couple of days to see Jacob Olsen. And then we hit the fall semester. And this semester, great learning lesson here of not to, get too ambitious at the start of the year. Coming off the summer, hit 91 straight into the week. Just a combination of the miles available to you in the training program in terms of like if you did everything and you did, all of the miles and you wanted to succeed, you could run 91, put it that way. There was options, with all the morning runs, afternoon runs, and without even really focusing on it, you just show up and practice. 91 is pretty easy to hit. And you pay the price next week, 54. If you're running 91 miles and you're fit, you should be able to keep doing it. Like, as you can see right now, we're built up at this point in my career. Like when we review next week, you see it's a consistency. But here, 54, 60, 72, 81, we did good workouts in this month of September, culminating in a really good race at the Sam Belt Invite, which would not have been my PR, but this was a really hilly course. So if you put on a flat, like in terms of the year before where I ran 25:17, this was a huge probably PR. I was like probably in really good shape at that point, real skinny, looking to run fast. I remember in that race, a guy called Mark Freyhoff, he balled out this year, and I was on, or next year, maybe, I don't know what year, I was on his shoulder at 5Ks, and I was like, okay, I'm having a not a bad race here. Cut a few Big Ten teams there, and then I pay the price. 91, you suffer a little bit on that week, but then you get better, come back to 80, 81 here. So you've done a good month of work, you race well, and then I'm going to pay the price in the second half of the semester as we head towards October. Kind of a big week training here coming off that race, and then we do this workout here, which is an 8-mile progressive city state in the country over hills, and it doesn't start out that bad. Like to here, like the first 3 miles is good. The next 5 miles is pretty good, pretty fast, coming down to 5:18, 5:30, 5:06, and 4:50. And this 4:50 was because I wanted to catch someone on my team. And I beat the guy on my team in practice, but it's like you don't win anything in practice. Big lesson, and it felt like a race. Honestly, I was like afterwards, it was a PR over 8 miles, I think, by the end of it. Which is actually interesting because I think I ran like 44, 30 or something, and I ran faster than that this week, not even really pushing it. So that's how fit I was as a, 19-year-old. But anyhow, that is just the lesson that I learned that semester, where it was like, I should have just eased off and stayed in the 5:20s. Even 5:20s at that point in my career probably would have been a really hard effort if I'd finished it off over the hills. But, everyone got rolling, everyone had fun and whatever. So because you're in shape a little bit, like the race here, 25:40 isn't bad, but it's not great. It's not good at all. You only got 53rd. It was a terrible race considering how I'd started the season and what I thought I could do. And then mentally, I knew then at that point it was over. You start to get a little bit sick here. Not a great week mileage going into the Big Tens. I'm not feeling great. This workout here, we do it every year, and it always just annoys me that 2-3 mile tempos, and I never run well. 16:25 and 16:38. That does not give you confidence to go run a good 5K the week after if you're running that fast. A good 8K, sorry, down here. So it's just, I knew it then, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to be a great week. And that mentality stayed with me. We got into the race, and I looking back on it, I should have done better in that race, because at 5 kilometers I was with Carson, arguably best friend in college. That's a White and Jake or whatever. But him and I roomed together all the time. And in cross country, if you ever asked him, it was either I had a good race or he had a good race. Like neither of us ever ran well together. And we were both together at 5K, and I was thinking like, damn, Carson's with me. Like either we're not having a good race, or I didn't know. So he went past me at 5K and ends up running the exact same time as I did a whole month earlier. And it was pretty much reverse roles. He ran the same time I did here today when I ran that time. So, for Dave, the coach there for the team, it was like you can count on Jordan or Carson to have a good day, but you probably couldn't count on them both to run well. So that kind of sucked because like I was like, damn, when I finished, I saw Carson. He's like, yeah, I just ran, like 25:15 or whatever, and ended up being 17. And I was just like, oh damn, maybe I should have just like toughened up maybe for 3 more kilometers, and I would have had a better season. So then we come down here, and I'm checked out. I don't run at regionals this year. I just start getting ready for track. I want to run. Didn't get to run indoors the year before, and I'm just ready to go. Come down here, and this is how I just thought it was an interesting workout to highlight this one, that it was 2 times 400, 600, 400, 200, and you only get 60 seconds in between. And we were able to run 4:05 pace the whole time. And it's an interesting factor to me that you like never lose it as a mile or a mid D guy. I think, putting it all together, it would be really hard. You probably only in like 4:15, 4:20 shape there, but in a workout, you're able to just to grind all the time, which I just thought was interesting. Cause I mean, obviously I got hurt here a little bit. I'm pretty sure this is right around Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. So I was out in Colorado with Bailey and Austin and Wyatt by the looks of things. So training well, but then got hurt, and then you're still able to crush this workout before actually leaving, before I go home to New Zealand. So I had actually totaled up the years over here. I can't get it to move. 770 for the summer, with equal to 59 mile average on the week. And then you come down here to the fall, which I've gone past now. Right here, 1100 and pretty much 65 and 61 average on the week. So as a numbers guy, I was telling you, I'm in school, you're doing all this financial modeling, everything. I'm going to try and get these numbers into a graph or something that's a little bit more meaningful for you all. Just see, again, I talked about how we were going to code the runs. I'm still trying to get that up to like where we are now in terms of like the percentage of breakdowns of long runs, easy runs, tempo, steady states, just to kind of see how it breaks up, see how it's been. So I'm hoping that maybe I'm kind of busy this week, but I'm hoping that I could get up to speed at least to like this semester and then the next semester. So yeah, hopefully, all this numbers, it's great. It's all good stuff. And I think it gives you an idea of kind of what's happening while you're in college. And then obviously you're trying to do your schoolwork, volunteer activities, all that stuff. But like being able to see, the trends or what's happening, I think would be a little bit more beneficial for you all. So I'm going to try and get that. But anyhow, let's get over to what happened this week or this past week, which would be Monday the 14th through to the 20th. Easy 30 and 60, 30 and 60, just kind of sticking with that. They kind of, I don't know, I could put this into a graph too. They seem to be getting just a little bit longer each week in terms of like the heart rate only ever stays 140 to like 145. It's easy running, but it means you're getting obviously fitter. You're able to travel a greater distance at the same, heart rate. So it's interesting. Maybe, in like when it's like 5 or 6 weeks into this, I can put it on a graph and see what's happening. But I really don't pay too much attention to it. I don't want to give it that much focus. I threw in the easy run on Thursday just to keep it ticking along, keep the grind going. I know that, once we get into workouts here in a couple of weeks, that run's going to have to be there just to kind of buffer the miles that you'll lose in the afternoon, because these runs are still totaling 12 to 14 miles in the afternoon. I was deciding all the way up until Tuesday for this workout. I was like, I don't know what to do. We come off a couple of weeks where it's been like kind of shorter 2-3 minute reps. So I just went for the 8 mile steady state. The first half of it was major hilly, up and down. I knew it was going to be slow, kind of in the 540s, 550s range. But then when we came off the hills, a little bit downhill into the flat of campus, we were able to get into like the 520s to 5 teens for a 44:15. So nearly 5:30 in average, but it really didn't feel that bad. Like I just felt like I was there. I was probably cruising around 150, 156, like 160, probably like 164 by the end beats. So right in where we want to be for that 45 minutes to an hour range of running. I definitely think I could have kept going at the end, which is a great sign. Come down for the easy hour on Wednesday. Nothing special there. 90 minutes on Thursday. Again, not really much special there. Hilly route, trying to just strengthen the legs where possible. Met up with someone on the Cornell team for 7 miles in the morning. And then in the afternoon, 2.5 mile warm up, 4 times 50, 5 times 200. You can see that there, not really anything special. 4 times 50 and then a 2.3 mile warm down. Wanaka Loop on Saturday, and I was having a great week to this point, and then we had worked on a case all week for financial modeling, so I boozed on Friday night. So the Wanaka Loop was kind of slow. I didn't really feel the greatest, and then went out again on Saturday night, and I only managed to do I was not feeling the greatest. I slept and then watched football, and then by the time I guilted myself back into you're here to get better. I went out for 85 minutes, about 14.2-ish miles. Before it got dark, I left at 6. So yeah, I still feel not the greatest today, and I mentally am get frustrated with myself when I lose it a little bit like that. But it is life, and kind of brings you back down to what's important, what do you want to do, and what are you going for. So 90 on the week, it definitely probably could have been more if I'd finished up that run to 2 hours. Maybe in hindsight, the jump from week to week probably is good that it was maybe only 14, but the circumstances under why it was only 14 are not the greatest. I got to get locked in here, focus a little bit, and stop having, so much fun, which fun's important, but that type of fun is not great. So that's where that is at. Good week. We're ticking away here. So then we jump over to the spreadsheet. I've planned out the next 2 weeks. The 2 weeks is done. And then I think in 2 weeks, I'm going to have a better idea as to what the next 4 or 5 or 6 weeks will look like in terms of the rules here and what I could do potentially with a couple of races. So next week, the 21st to the 27th, obviously today, we did that 30 and the 60. Tomorrow, I'm going to go back to the 2-minute reps, but I'm going to go out onto the country, do them on the hills. So we'll go 20 times 2-minute reps with 90 seconds rest. So that'll be, last time I did it, it was 2 and 2. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to be good. Put a little bit more stress on the system. 60 on Wednesday, 90 on Thursday, and then we'll do 60, maybe it'll be 60 or 50 or 60 minutes in the morning on Friday, and then we'll do a 15-minute tempo, trying to get the heart rate up into about 160, 167, 168, up to about 172, 173 for 15 minutes. So if I had to guess, it'd probably be around 450s, 440, probably not 440, maybe 450s, 5 minutes. I think that's probably where, with that heart rate at 15 minutes, that will be, but we'll see. And then we'll obviously do the 200s after. Wanaka Loop on Saturday, and then long run back up to, be a bit more focused this week, get up in the morning, do the 2-hour long run on Sunday morning, and then get on here and do a video for you guys on Sunday morning before football. But how about them Chiefs? Too tough of a divisional rival. Didn't like to see that go to overtime, but it happened. Going to watch some football tonight and crush some school and crush some miles this week. So I hope everyone's having a great time. If you're running, keep it going. I know it's an uncertain time, and it's great to see places like Nebraska doing time trials the other week. George and Martin's ran really well out there, and other races going on around the place. So have a great week, everybody, and I will for sure check in with you next Sunday, hopefully with a more focused week to tell you about. Catch you later.